girlfriend is wanting me to wear women's clothing all of a sudden. So, me and my girlfriend have been together for 3 years. I love her very much. She's my best friend in the whole world and I'd do anything for her. Thing is, she randomly brought up that she wants me to wear women's clothes. She said I'd look cute in them. I kind of just stayed awkwardly silent and hoped she'd drop it, but she hasn't. She's brought it up multiple times now. She even decided to gift me a skirt. I don't care if other guys wear women's clothing, but I don't know how I'd feel about it. I don't want to disappoint her, but I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with it. What do I do? I'm horribly confused. Thanks for any advice you guys have. Update: so, I tried to talk to her about it and she begged me to. So I put on the damn skirt. It made her very happy, so I suppose it was worth it. I just want her to be happy. Edit: for the people asking, I don't think it was sexual. She just kinda put me in a skirt and then she cuddled me. It was a touch awkward. And for those asking about age, I'm 22 and she's 21. Sit her down and tell her that you are uncomfortable with it. And you don't want to do it. She should respect your no. Maybe she has some sort of kink that she is trying to discover and testing it out on you. Best thing you can do is just talk to her. Tell her you aren't comfortable doing that but try to figure out why she wants you to. There has to be some underlying reason for it. Communicate. It's not irrational to be uncomfortable with that. Tell her you're not comfortable with it and won't be doing it, if that's how you feel. Remember, no is a complete sentence. I'd also ask her why this is so important to her. What seems like suddenly there is something she's not telling you, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's anything very bad. Just something is definitely up here. You two need to be honest and upfront with each other ASAP. Best of luck, Op. Tell her you have no interest in wearing women's clothes and you're uncomfortable with the idea. Just talk to her calmly when you tell her to make sure she doesn't feel like you're judging her for asking. It's good that she's comfortable enough with you to ask, but it doesn't mean you have to oblige. Stand your ground. In a good relationship you shouldn't have to do things that make you uncomfortable to make your partner happy. I'm pretty sure you can make her happy in other ways other than dressing in woman's clothes. Bro gave into it, pensive face. Guys can say no too. That's a bit fucked tbh, if you're not comfortable with it don't do it. And be very clear about that. It's definitely a kink thing. Just tell her you are uncomfortable. No is no. So what is next? You ask her for anal and she must say yes, or else. Definitely talk her and ask her what prompted this seemingly random request. It almost sounds like she saw a random video on YouPorn where the wife dressed up her hubby. No reason to no, tell her you aren't comfortable with it and that be the end of it. I've worn my spouse's panties usually on a day like under my work clothes and it had a little bit of a thrill to it and certainly turned her on, barely made it through the front door. Anything more than that and I'm not very interested. To each their own though for sure. You've been together 3 years, tell her you're uncomfortable with what's she asking. But I would also want to where in heck this is coming from. Why it's coming out of blue after all these years. Something sounds off to me. Okay, but be careful not to lose yourself in all this. Don't let anyone force SMTH on you, that is wrong. If you genuinely don't mind or like it, all good then, but if not you need to tell her. After reading your update, my only advice is, don't do things you are uncomfortable with for the sake of anyone's happiness. Reverse the genders, and someone won't be calling the police. The advice is ruin. She's trying to sissify you. This is a kink she's trying to explore with you. If you're not open to exploring it with her, let her know with your words. That update is sad, man. You seemed like you were genuinely uncomfortable doing it and gave in for nonsensical reasons. As long as y'all are happy, I guess. She needs to explain why. And you are well within your rights to say no. That's a boundary. If you don't feel okay doing it, don't do it. Express yourself and communicate, and if she doesn't want to leave it, you have to decide. Like other comments said, try to understand why she wants you to wear them. If it's a kink, you can just wear them like a cosplay or something. If you feel okay, of course. You should never be forced to do something you're uncomfortable with. You need to be able to set your own boundaries, and that goes for both people in the relationship. Sounds like you're about to go for a wild ride with her, for better or for worse. Good luck, mate. How about you actually have a conversation with her about it instead of posting on Reddit? Communication is lubrication. Don't compromise your own comfort to that extent. You have a right to say no. It's not fair of her, especially in the current social climate, to expect you to do something like that if you've stated you're not okay with it. You have a right to say no, don't forget that. Sounds like this relationship is headed towards its end. Bro. Did she click some photos of yours? If yes, then in future she can use to blackmail you. But if you trust her, then no problem, you can now try any women dress. Just make sure things won't get out like public, family members. If you aren't sure about whether you'd be comfortable or not, try it alone first. Not with her around, just alone in the bathroom. If you aren't, express it to her and have a conversation about it. If you are and like it, express it to her and have a conversation about it. That's my advice. It's not about making others happy. What's important is if you are comfortable doing so, therefore, you have to sit her down and tell her that you are uncomfortable doing so. She shouldn't be begging you to do things if you don't like them. Sounds like she has some kink that she's trying to force on you instead of talking to you about it. No one gets to tell you what you wear. Works for women as well as for men. You wear what you're comfortable in. Except if she's trying to make a point because you pushed her to wear some sort of outfit at some point, I see no reason for her to suddenly do that. Just sat her down and have a discussion about boundaries. Everyone is basically begging you to not do this and hoping you see how fucked this is. I literally can't believe you did this. You have no respect for yourself. It's really disappointing to see that you went through with something you didn't want to do, and I especially don't feel bad for you now. Grown-ass man can't even stand his ground on boundaries. You're in an abusive relationship and the entire situation is weird AF. Human beings can be so odd, lol. That's weird tbh. I'm maybe more traditional masculine than some PPA, but young 31 meters. I would feel ridiculous wearing women's clothes. If you don't want to, you don't have to. She should respect that. If you feel that it is a boundary you don't want to cross, tell your girlfriend directly. Communication. Based on your update, it seems like it wasn't that big a deal, lol. Glad it ended okay for now. Honestly, I would not have done that for her. I think there is an underlying issue here. You said that this is something you are uncomfortable with. Yet she begged you to do it anyway. It's not clicking with her that boundaries are necessary. Don't let her abuse you. You don't deserve it. I'd never do this to my girlfriend, and if she disrespects my boundaries, then we'd have a serious problem that requires a serious discussion and full understanding. Communication is key. If she doesn't know that the reason you were unenthusiastic to try it on because you were uncomfortable with it, she likely assumed that you were teasing her or something. In all honesty, how was it? No partner should be making demands of what the other person wears. This is no different from a man telling his wife to cover up or dress more conservatively. Your girlfriend's behavior is a huge red flag. Giving in to her demands like you have will just encourage her to make further demands of you, which is abusive behavior. Please look after yourself, Pop. Edit. I cannot believe these comments. If the genders were reversed, a man was trying to persuade a woman to wear something she wasn't comfortable in, people would be furious. Her behavior isn't okay. Personally, if it's something you're not comfortable doing, she should respect that you are not comfortable.